Hello, welcome to the channel. I'm Soraya from Love Vegan Living, and today I want to share with you the recent diagnosis which I received of hypothyroidism. So if that's of interest, stay tuned and let's go. So I want to tell you about my recent diagnosis. I walked into the doctor's office, and the very first thing that the doctor said to me before I'd even closed the door was, "Soraya, you have thyroid problems, issues, you have hypothyroidism." And I didn't really believe it. It was like, sorry, what? I hadn't even sat down yet. So anyway, I sat down, spoke to the doctor. She said I had high cholesterol. Me? High cholesterol? I don't eat cholesterol. I don't eat processed foods. I eat a whole food, plant-based diet. No crap. So where was the cholesterol coming in? Well, it turns out that's a symptom of hypothyroidism, but I didn't know that. So I was like, are you sure you haven't mixed up the bloods? Is this really my blood test? I'm having a job believing this. So hypothyroidism, high cholesterol. I had a high inflammatory marker in the gut related to the gut, showing that something was still running inflammation in my body at the time. And so my diagnosis was a bit of a shock, and it was also a shock to be labelled something. I had not considered that I could actually be labelled hypothyroidism. I have hypothyroidism. So it took me the rest of that day to actually assimilate, get my head around that information, and really believe that it was about me. But having said that, I had a lot of symptoms, which I'll go into in another video. I had a lot of symptoms that pointed me to request that hypothyroid test. So it wasn't completely a surprise, although I behaved as though it was for a day. And then after day one, I came up with a plan of action. And my plan of action was to firstly educate myself as much as possible. So I do believe that when we get a piece of information that's new to us and maybe considered negative, it's really important to keep up our determination to find the win in every situation. But for me, it took me the rest of the day before I could actually believe that they were my bloods. I had to think about it and get my head around it and really think, oh God, can I have high cholesterol? Is that possible? My glucose was also at the top of the normal range, and I don't eat processed sugar. So it was really strange for me to see. And basically the doctor said to me, you have to go on medicine. I'm going to put you on medicine for 2 months, and then we'll take another blood test. And this is something that's fundamentally wrong with our medical attitude. Because what caused my hypothyroidism? So what are you going to do when you get a diagnosis like that? Well, what I did was I decided I'm going to educate myself. So I went home and I read and I read and I read and I watched videos and I joined groups, and I just basically spent days buried in learning about hypothyroidism. So the two main causes are Hashimoto's, autoimmune disease, or iodine deficiency, and of course there are other things and many more things that can go into the picture. But I did not understand why I would take medicine to replace a hormone that's not being produced by a gland in my body if there's a chance that we can get that gland healthy again. And when I say a chance, our bodies can really heal. The first thing that stands out to me about this diagnosis of hypothyroidism is that it was just, okay, your thyroid gland isn't producing thyroid, therefore we're going to give you the thyroid. We're going to give you a synthetic thyroid. No, doesn't matter why, doesn't matter what the cause is, we don't care. That is crazy. That doesn't fit in my head. So I read and I read and I educated myself as much as well. I continue to educate myself. But now I know a lot more about hypothyroidism than I did before. And of course, Hashimoto's is a primary cause of hypothyroidism. It's an autoimmune disease where our antibodies attack the thyroid. But if you haven't got Hashimoto's and you have a thyroid issue, then like from iodine deficiency, for example, then it's a completely different scenario. So why would we treat them the same? It's just putting it's terrible. I'm not anti-taking medicine for hypothyroidism if it's necessary. You replace the hormone that's missing. That's fine. But you need to recognize that if you're only doing that, your thyroid is no longer going to be needing to produce the hormone. So your thyroid no longer has a role. If you're suffering with Hashimoto's, damage will continue to your thyroid gland. It's not going to just stop because you're taking this hormone. So I was not prepared to take medicine and not know whether the cause was Hashimoto's or iodine deficiency or something else. So I asked if we could do a blood test to include the thyroid antibodies, which would be indicative of Hashimoto's. But the doctor's answer was, no, you need to take the medicine. You need to take the medicine for 2 months and then come back. Where's the sense in that? So that was number one, education. Number two was to get advice from holistic, integrative medicine people. Number three was to design myself a protocol, a plan. And that's where it gets exciting. Because when you have something to do, it's exciting. So instead of being this condemnation, my diagnosis has been an invitation to find better health in my body, which is always exciting. So I'm full on with this and I'm very optimistic. It has its difficult moment when you get the diagnosis, but if you come through it and make a plan in this way, then it's an empowering way to approach a negative situation. Number four will be to implement everything and to record the progress as I go along. I don't believe in just covering it up. I want to get to the root cause. So I requested to include a thyroid panel, including T3 and T4, to show the actual thyroid hormone in the body. And I asked to include the Hashimoto's test, which would be 2 antibodies. So they test for 2 thyroid antibodies, and if they are present, that indicates Hashimoto's. Well, my doctor said, no, we treat this with medicine. And he even added 80% of cases in Spain are from iodine deficiency. And I thought 2 things. I thought, one, if it's from iodine deficiency, why aren't you testing me for iodine deficiency? And if you're saying 80%, if you don't test for Hashimoto's, how do you know that it's 80%? It's just because you don't test for Hashimoto's. If we don't test for Hashimoto's, we're not going to know, are we? So anyway, I got a no. So that was that. I carried on educating myself and I designed my protocol. So I can't take credit for my protocol, of course. I got it from well-known root cause medicine and holistic medicine and nutritionists. And basically I came up with a protocol which is super exciting, and I will do another video about the protocol because it's too long to go into here. But I'm absolutely loving it, and after 1 month I decided to get the blood test done privately. So I went to the clinic and I had the blood test done, and it reveals that my TSH had come down to 1 something, well right down in the normal range, and my inflammatory markers are still high, though not as high as they were. So it's coming in the good way. I definitely have low iodine, so this is very possibly the cause of my hypothyroidism. I haven't taken the medicine. I'm not here to tell anyone not to take medicine. I just believe in getting to the root cause first and in giving the body every opportunity to heal. So here we go. This is a great roller coaster ride. So if you're struggling with any health issues and you would like support, get in touch or drop a comment below, because we shouldn't be feeling alone in these situations. It's never easy to know this information about our bodies, but it's empowering to take steps to reclaim our health. So without further ado, I would like to wish you a lovely day and say goodbye for now. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the like button below. Take care. Thank you for watching. Namaste.